I noticed right away, there's no gasket. This is plastic. There needs to be a gasket, and they do not have one in here. So this has been off before. They got some nice new fuel line on it with a fuel filter, but when they took it off, they did not put a gasket back. I'll have to look and see if I've got one. If not, I'll make one. But I just took the throttle cable off, unscrewed this, pulled it out, and pulled the fuel line off, and then the two bolts that hold the carburetor in, and of course the air cleaner, which we'll probably get a new one. It looks pretty sad. So let's take this inside and we'll pull it off and take a look at it. I'm wondering if they replaced the carburetor before on it. You can get these carburetors for about, I think, like $11. All right, so let's tear into this thing. It's got gas in it. It smells pretty good. And it really doesn't look that bad. Man, that thing's got some small jets in it. This is a torch tip cleaner. It tells you which cleaner to use for, yeah. Anyway, I like using this for carburetors. I don't know if I've got one small enough to go in there. If not, oh, yeah, it does. I can't get the little ribbed part in there. That's the smallest one I've got, but I can at least get this part of it in there. So we run that through all the holes. You can see it's going all the way through to the other side. So those are clear. Got one up here. All right, and then down here, let's see, that one goes through. Trying different sizes. That one fits pretty good. Just run that through. I can actually go bigger on that one. Let's try this one. That one will not. This one. That one just goes. Let's try this one. Perfect. All right. I'm gonna set that down. Let's pull this other one out. This is probably the idle circuit. That one won't go. And that looks plugged up. I cannot see through that. Let's take our smallest one. See if we can get through it. I cannot get through that. So we pulled a piece of wire with a wire brush. This is pretty thin stuff, but it's pretty stiff. So we just kind of take our pliers and straighten this out. There we go. That's probably where our issue was. It's right in there. Now I can see through it. Such a little bitty jet. A carb cleaner. Good. That one's good. I'm just going to spray kind of the outside of this carb off real quick. Try not to get it on the camera. And we will just blow through everything. I guess I should take the I'm gonna spray a little carb cleaner through here. Needle and seat. I don't think I'm gonna take it out. Float's in good shape. And it looks like it's adjusted pretty well. I don't think there's any reason to take it out. It wasn't flooding out, and it was full of gas, so we're just going to leave it in place. We've already blew through these with the air gun, and we've sprayed carb cleaner through them. So now we can put the jets back in. And I think our issue was that little one was plugged up. Alright, and spray out the bowl. And that gas that was in it looked pretty good. It smelled fine. I think they put fresh gas in it, trying to get it to start, and it wouldn't start. So we're gonna go ahead and put this back on, and we're gonna need to make a gasket. I've got some gasket material, but it's really thick stuff. So we might make a cardboard gasket. Gaskets are pretty much cardboard. Anyway, we'll see. Like I said, the gasket material I have is really thick stuff. It's kind of hard to make anything out of it. And this one, it's got an O-ring on this side that goes up against the carburetor. But on the other side, it's supposed to have a gasket. So before we stick it up in there, we will this on there. That gasket looks good. And that looks clean. There is a slot that this goes in. And let's see. It goes just like this. And we lost our gasket. Get our gasket back where it goes. Alright, gasket's back on. Maybe if we thread that on. And yeah, this goes that way. I want to make sure the throttle works. The other good thing about this four-wheeler, I don't know if you can tell, you know, you can adjust the throttle on them. And this thing, the motor probably has not been worked very hard because they've got the throttle stop less than halfway. You know, to keep your kid from going wide open. Problem I found on some of these though is when you do that, they don't have any power to start off. You know, they get on like a little incline or something, and because you can't give it more throttle than that, they can't even like climb a little hill or, you know, whatever, or they're trying to get over a little stump or pothole. They're just, the four-wheeler's got no power to do it. So we got our bolts. Go ahead and start those on the carburetor. Oh, they come in from the intake manifold. They thread into the carburetor. So we'll do that, and we're going to put our gasket. Let's see. Gasket goes just like that. So we'll go ahead and we'll put that on the intake. Perfect. And then we're going to take our fuel line and shove it on there. Oh. We got two O-rings on here. There's the, I guess one wasn't thick enough. I don't know. Or maybe it's supposed to be like that. It looks like they both fit in there. Well, we go. Oh! I know what they did. Huh. We can take our gasket off. They put this on backwards. We don't even need the gasket. Just realize that. They put this on backwards. They had the two O-rings touching each other. It should go like this. O-ring. I didn't realize there were two O-rings. There we go. So we made that gasket for nothing. I'm going to go ahead and put our spacer on there. Well, we'll put our spacer on the carburetor. Make sure it's right. Yep. And that's how I took it off. I took it off, the two O-ring sides were together. When I pulled it off, it looked like one thick O-ring. Or an 8. I don't know if this battery's gonna have enough in it to crank it over or not. He said it was like 11.6 volts. Sounding a little weak. I can't get I need to put some new ends on my jump pack. They're just not very good. The spring clamps are not very springy anymore, and the ends are starting to rust. Just not very good ones. I've got some old jump packs I can take off of there. Alright. I'm going to probably left the key on too. So let's turn the gas back on. Alright. Looks like I see fuel going through.